Hello everybody, you guys are going to be seeing a full-on raw, unedited, unfiltered video on how I was able to flip my $20 account all the way up to 500. And don't worry, I'm going to be showing you guys every single transaction history, my deposits, and going to be my withdrawals as well. You guys are going to be seeing all my psychology, right, on my trades that I took, like all the hurdles I had to face, all the problems, and how I was able to overcome it to be able to make $500 from $20 itself. So let's try to jump into it right now. So if you try to take a look into our wallet, we just kind of press on this. I'm sure you guys are going to be seeing this, that I did have a $300 asset instead of 500. Well, don't worry. You can see that I did already have my withdrawal pretty much. You can see this 215 US dollars, a withdrawal, right? So let's try to take a look into this one. So before we begin, I'm sure that you guys are really going to be curious onto my deposits, okay? Now, I want you guys to be just focusing on this one. Let me just zoom it in real quick for you guys to see it much better. So if I'm going to be grabbing a screenshot and I'm going to be explaining every single one of this explanation of this deposit, well, first, okay? The transparency I'm going to show you is if someone ever tells you that when they start flipping an account onto their first flip, they already successfully do it, well, maybe you could do that, but hey, like majority of the time, it's always not going to be on the first one. So that's why where risk management always gonna comes in. And you have to understand, okay? What I did here is I deposited $24. I think I did this trade on copy trading because there's a better statistics. Because if you guys don't know, I'm using the broker called BitUnix. You know, the link's gonna be in the description down below. No KYC. And yeah, the reason why I'm using BitUnix is because I primarily trade on Bybit, Binance, right? And the reason why I'm not using Binance and Bybit is because it will pretty much ruin the statistics it's going to show, right? And I just want it to be pretty clean. And not only that, I use my Bybit and Binance to be leveraging swing trading futures. So I do have a couple cryptos futures positions that are open, and I don't want them to be touched, or I don't want them to be disturbed. So that's why I'm using a different exchange such as BitUnix to be able to do this entire challenge. Now, with this, I deposited $24, and every single time on your first trade, you always have to risk 50%. So here's the thing though. I know people are going to be saying that, why would I risk 50%? Like, you're not doing proper risk management. You have to understand, okay? You're doing a small account challenge. I myself, if I trade my main personal account, right, with more funds, I only risk between, 1 to 5%. And if I risk higher, 8% is probably the max. Like, I don't want to be exceeding 8, right? Now, that is going to be my game plan onto my main account. But if you're doing a small account challenge, such as a $20 account, bro, like, you should be risking 50%. Okay? You should be risking 50% for your first 3 trades. Okay? Now, with that in the way, we're going to be moving on. The next step, okay? I did risk that, and you can see that I had another deposit because that shows that this 50% risk, I lost it, right? I lost my $12. So I technically lost $12. So I was technically left with another $12, right? Now, that's why I deposited another 12 to fill this void right here, right? So I was trading my CT here. You could always make a copy trading BitUnix to see the statistics, but because you're not able to see the win rate and everything with the normal BitUnix trading, so I went to CT and I told myself like, hey, there's lesser leverage with copy trading. So I told myself, okay, I'm just going to be going to the main future trading. Okay. I went to the main future trading. That's when I deposited $12 right here. So my total account is back to 24. And I did lose a trade again. I lost my 50% trade. So I'm already down between like 12. So that's when I actually deposited another 12. So I was technically trading maybe $26. Okay. I'm technically trading this amount. Okay, why is this Mac kind of lagging when I'm drawing? So I'm technically trading, TLDR, I'm trading $26. Not really exactly 20, but it's still between the 20 range. At least it's not above 30. So let's try to get into the good stuff. Okay, let me just take this out. Now, you can see that that's all my deposit. We can do last 3 months. You can see nothing. Last 3 months. Let me just try to refresh the page real quick. Right, last 3 months, right? Now you can see the withdrawal records, this on-chain withdrawal, last 3 months, no withdrawal at all, no withdrawal, right? I don't know how far I can go back, but yeah. So let's try to jump in to the trade that I took. Okay, now if we're going to be going to futures right here, I don't know why it looks kind of messed up. So let's try to go all the way down, and let's try to go to our trade history or position history. Okay, this is gonna be our main focus for now. So I'll just try to put this a little bit higher and try to zoom this in. Right now, I want you guys to be focusing on to this one at the bottom. You can see that I did have my first few trades, which is the Ghost USDT. And this is exactly what I mean, where I did have a few losses. Okay, now from this one right here, you can see that my first two trades, right, like what I said, I would be risking 50%. I think I kind of risked like 25 onto this first one. I lost it 25 again. Technically lost like 50% in short, TLDR, right? Now with that, I told myself, I'm like, okay, I placed my deposit in and I went into another trade. So my next trade was, this is when I started to sticking on one coin. So I saw Trump, I was having some success. So I started to just only trade Trump because the market was very good. Price structure was very clean. Now with Trump, you can really see that I did have a few rules, okay, in which I only specifically share my step-by-step rule inside the Duck Trading Empire. If you want to know more about it, I do weekly trade sessions every day, NY session, weekly webinar. There's even gold signals. And yeah, if you want to see more about that, just look at the link down below. And now, looking into Trump USDT, the tip I'll give you guys that I always tell my students, I'm going to be sharing you guys some of it over here, is that always have an X amount of trades that you want to be opening every single session. So for me, for example, right, my limit for every session is only going to be 2 trades per session. So there's going to be Asia, there's going to be London, and there's going to be NY. So within those 3 sessions, right, I will only have a trade max open of 2 trades. So 2 trades of every session right here, right? Only 2 trades. I don't want to exceed. So if I exceed 2 sessions in Asia, I'm like, fuck. Maybe if I have Asia, I take another trade in Asia for 3. That means for London, I'll only take 1, right? Something like that. So you can see that my first trade so far here for Trump, it was pretty much a break-even trade. So that's not bad. Remember, this is a 50% risk, okay? So then moving on to my next trade, remember my portfolio size 26, so plus 2, around 28 already. And then I'm already risking around 50% of the port still. So you can see that onto my next trade, I was pretty much risking around $12, I think, or $10, right? And that's when I made a 2-hour profit. So you can see I made $23. So moving on from that alone, we're not done yet. We're going to be scrolling up a little bit higher, right? You can see that from here on, this was when is the most pretty important part, like when you guys are going to be doing a small account challenge. Like you should be having at least a win rate like above, for me, right, like above 50%, right, to see some profitability and pretty good RR. Because you can see that I did hit a break even for this trade, but you can see after that I took another trade, and you can see this was nighttime. So this was during NY, this was during London to NY, and this one was pretty much Asia, and this was also Asia, and this was London, right? Now you can see that I did take a loss, and you can see over my next trade, you can see that I made a technically, remember, 50% risk now, right? My account size was probably $30 to $40. So I risked $15 for this trade because 50% port. And yeah, you can see I flipped it. Now I made 2R, that's $31. Took another trade, break even, took another trade, $34, that's 2R again, took another trade, that's 2R. But the most important aspect over here, right? Always remember, guys, you guys are still seeing the wins. You guys did not see the losses yet, okay? It's really easy to be euphoric, to be taking more entries, or to be confident when you are actually having a series of winning streak. But once you start having your losses, that's when you guys are going to get tested. So from here, you can see that I took a loss with Pepe. And ever since I took a loss with Pepe, I told myself like, hey, I'm going to be trading Trump only because the price structure with Trump is very clean. So moving on to the next part right here. Let me just close this. You can see that this is when I got pretty much humbled, right? You can see that I had some series of losses, like pretty much. You can see I had shit ton of losses. Now, from this one right here, you can see that I did have a 3 win streak, and I was followed with a series of a lot of win streak. And you can see this was during NY session. This was NY. This was pretty much Asia. This pretty much Asia to London. So it's like kind of Asia closing and London open. And this was also during London session. So from this alone, right? I want you guys to understand that based on to all my wins previously, I was on a peak of over one. I think I was over like around 150. I don't remember exactly. 150 to $160 profit. Okay, I was around 150 to $160 in profit. And when I take all my losses here, my account size technically dipped down all the way down to like $70, all the way to $80. Okay, so between this range, $70 to $80 in negative. Okay, not in negative, but I was down. Okay, and this is when people are gonna be tweaking. This is the most important part that you should start to learn every single time when you're doing a small account challenge. You should be disciplined during this important moment. Because remember all the winnings that I told you guys, right? When you start taking your losses, like right now, this is when the market is actually testing you if you deserve to flip the account. So if you're able to get past this, you're technically like on a go signal already to be hitting your challenge. So with this, right, we can really see that once you're down to 70 to 80, this is when most people are going to be tweaking the most. They're going to start over leveraging. They're like, hey, bro, like for example, they have a setup, right? They have a trade idea to start taking longs right here. So once they start taking longs, they hit SL and then they long again, they hit SL. So they have two losses. Their account is down to this size. They start revenge trading. They start playing based on intuition already, okay? And they don't have a system already in mind. So they're like, okay, from this, we broke structure, I'm going to short. Market went down a bit and went impulse. And they're like, fuck, it went up. I'm going to buy. Market went down. I'm going to sell. They're going to be stuck. And that's when they blow their account. Now, the tip I'm going to give you guys, a psychology tip, is learn when to pull the handbrake. So during this moment, right? During this moment, I told myself psychologically, is that even though my account size from 150 is down to 70 now, you have to understand where you came from and how much you came from. I started with only $20 and I was able to bring my account size all the way up to 150, or I was able to bring my account size to 70 to 80. That's over 200% gain. It's all about perspective, right? I will probably be sad when my account size is down to like 16 because I knew that the money I placed down in the market is already in negative. But as of the moment, this isn't my money, bro. Like, this is the money that I was able to harvest from the market. The money that I was able to profit from the market. So once I had that in my head, we can see all these losses. This was during nighttime, I believe. This was during this was during London session here, right? Once I had that idea, okay, remember this, my two losses here, I could always revenge trade from here. But I told myself like, hey, pull the handbrake, trade again tomorrow. That is why when I had my two losses, I closed my day with a red. It doesn't matter. I'm going to bounce back again tomorrow, right? I really just bounce back again tomorrow. People obsess too much about closing the day with a red, and I mean closing the day with the green, that to the point that sometimes it does more harm than good. It's really important to know when to stop. Okay, wait, let me drink my water real quick, guys, because my throat is kind of dry. Well, okay, this is what I mean. That's raw and unfiltered. Like, it's not edited at all, bro. It's all like straight, no cuts. Now, moving on, right? The important other psychology trick I tell you guys is that knowing when to pull the handbrake. It's really easy to say that right now when you're taking losses. It's really easy to say like, okay, I will pull the handbrake. Okay, I will really pretty much pull the handbrake. And yeah, I'll just stop, like I won't trade anymore. But you have to understand that it's really easy to say that. But when you're heated in the moment, it's very hard. Okay, but the thing that I always tell my students every single time on our weekly webinars, for example, the psychology part is very important. Okay, because trading is a type of industry, or it's like a line of profession where how you are outside trading matters so much how you are in trading. So it really reflects how you are going to be in the chart. So your performance in the charts reflects based on how you are outside the charts. So if you tell yourself that you want to be waking up every single morning at 6 a.m. in the morning, you want to be going to the gym, MWF. So once Wednesday kicks in, you wake up, you're like, yo, I'm not going to go to the gym, I'm tired. boom, that's already you breaking your trading plan. Okay, that's already you breaking your plan. You're like not being disciplined anymore. And that will impact so much that when a trade opportunity like this invalidates your trade, you still tell yourself that you want to buy. That's still the same thing. And you want to buy and you tell yourself, no, I shouldn't buy this, not following my trading plan. That's the same thing as you not following your routine, right? Although it's somewhat the other way around, because like, but it's still the same thing. Like, you're not following your trading plan. You don't want to take the long position, right? Because it doesn't stick with your plan, but your intuition is like, no, I want to trade this, like you're feeling, you break your plan, you break your entire trade setup, you break your whole plan, then you take the trade. It's the same thing as your routine. You break your whole routine. Okay? And not only that, okay, the next important part is I want you guys to visualize an example of like this, okay? Where let's say you have friends, okay? Let's say you have friends over here and this is trading. Your friends, okay, let's say you have a strict rule that you do not drink because it's the weekdays, for example. You will not smoke because you don't want to smoke. And your friends peer pressures you to smoke and to drink because it's the weekdays, for example. And you really don't want to be doing them. You don't want to smoke, you don't want to drink. But because of peer pressure, you don't know how to say no. You ended up drinking. You ended up taking the hit. You ended up smoking instead. Now, with that alone, you're actually not being disciplined by saying no. That's the same thing with trading. Okay, I want you guys to visualize your friends over here. And with trading, when you have a setup that's showing and then it invalidated it, and then it doesn't look good to take a long, but what you do is you still try to long, and your head, your alter ego is telling you like, hey, take a long position, but your trading plan is telling you, like your systematic self is telling you not to take it, but your alter ego is telling you like, no, take it, imagine the gains. That alter ego that's talking to you to take it, that's technically the friends example over here. So if you don't know how to say no to this one, then how are you able to say no to this? Okay, look at that into perspective, right? So with that out of the way, right? That is really some very good psychology tip that I can just share to you guys, so hopefully you guys can learn from. So with that out of the way, I pretty much, TLDR, I did pull the handbrake. I told myself that, hey, I'm not gonna be trading. I'm already done. I'm gonna be trading again tomorrow. Okay, like, and my previous trade, this trade, it did not reflect my next trade. Like, I still knew that, okay, once I'm down to this, I'm still gonna be risking pretty much $40, I think. And I told myself, I'm like, hey, bro, like, I'm still gonna be down 30, pretty much, right? If I lose, pretty much, if I lose at $40, it's okay. I'm gonna be down 30. I'm still up $10. I don't care, right? What matters is I stuck to my plan. Now, this was where everything started to lift off. So once after these losses right here, remember the thing I told you, right? It's like the market's testing you. I had a really good winning day. You can see that this was still London session in 05. It was clean, bro. Like, this day was insane. Like, I had a series of losses, and then right this day, $100, boom. Next day, I mean the same day, right? No, the next day, I mean, sorry, this is not the same day. But a next day, right? Look at this, right? This is what I mean. Okay, I want you guys to pay very close attention. This is another important aspect here. Once I was in drawdown, okay, once I took this winning trade, I was up $17 only for the day, because that is minus all the drawdown. So remember, I was down 170, right? My portfolio, I went down to 60, or no, I went down to 70 to 80, right? To 80. Why is it so laggy? So what happens is, once I made this profit back, I made $190. I made around $190 my total portfolio now. It was sitting around this. So that means I got out from all my losses and I was in profit. So that is the very key importance why trading RR indicator system matters. Remember, bro, I was up $70 for the day. A lot of people are probably going to be like, hey, I'm only up $70. I want to trade more. But I told myself, like, hey, I already made back the money that I somewhat quote unquote lost. I'm pretty much done for the day. I'll just trade again tomorrow. And you can really see that the next day, good stuff happened. I made over $100 onto the next day, trading Trump, right? You can see this is Asia session. That's one trade. And then boom, another beautiful winning trade onto, what do you call this? London session. And then this was when, okay, this is a really good loss. I always tell my students this. There are some losses that are stupid losses, and there are some losses that are very good losses. And I will show you guys this in the chart. Don't worry. Now, from this alone, right, you can see this was still London session. So I did take 2 London session trades. I took another trade. I took a loss. Okay. That's when I realized, I told myself, I'm like, shit, bro. I took a loss here. I'm like, bro, okay, if there's no more better opportunity to show up next, then I will not take the trade. I will wait for New York. But if I take another London session trade, that means I will only take one trade in New York. And you can see that you will get this series of winning, and you will get your losses. Okay. And once I got my losses here, I have to understand that this loss was controlled. I pulled my handbrake again. I reflected what I did wrong, and what's my next game plan. And I remember I was in class during this time, and during class, I would just look into my phone and I said, like, let's try to take a look at what Trump is doing right now. And I was like, oh, this structure is looking very interesting. I took a short. Look at what happens. $160 profit, the all-time high profit with this entire account. And we kind of closed the account with $500 already. And that was already done. The challenge was pretty much complete. We just try to go to the P&L record right here. If you can just go to futures, you can really see your P&L analysis, and you can see that let me just see P&L calendar. You can see how much I'm making right here. I don't know why it's showing 457, bro. That's kind of weird. I should be making 500. I really remember, bro. My portfolio was 500. That's tripping. But anyway, you can really see that I had my first losses here. My first losing day. On the next one, which is Monday, I made $51 in profit. The next day, $17. This is what it said that, I got out on break even, right? I got out on break even, and once I got out on break even, I was $17 in profit. I just told myself, hey, I'm done for the day. I'll go again tomorrow. The next day, I closed it with 79, and the most extreme day, I closed it with 317. And yeah, it was such a really, really good trade. Like, it was such a good trading day. Now, you can see that on 2025 027, I have a initial assets of $501. So that's when I told myself, like, hey, we're done with the trade. Like, we're done, bro. There's all the volumes as seeing right here. Net inflow, right? 2016. This is when I withdraw. I withdraw $216. Right? So you can see asset overview right here. You can see my withdrawals, $215. We're pretty much done. And yeah, so it was such a really good trading. And you can see that P&L calendar was looking very clean right here. And the equity curve was looking very nice, man. Like, not gonna lie, it was such a healthy equity curve. One day made this much. And yeah, you can see how clean this looks. So let's try to jump into the charts and try to take a look at Trump. And what made me really just wanna pretty much like play the position, bro, because I'm sure you guys are wondering. And yeah, it was from this trade right here, right? This one. Now, I will show you that you can see that this sell right here took a buy, $155 profit. I took a buy here. I took 2 buys, but they were losses right here. You can see this. Okay, that's somewhat like a break even, I think. But yeah, you can see $41 loss. Now, let me explain to you guys real quick this trade. Oh, by the way, I will show you guys just the tip of the iceberg of to this breakdown. I'll just show you guys this breakdown only. But inside the duck trading empire, I'm going to be breaking down every single trade here, right? Step by step, all single trade. We're going to be hosting a masterclass real soon, maybe a 2 hours class, and maybe it's going to be recorded as well. A complete trade breakdown of every single trade. And if you want to be seeing that, make sure you guys press the link down below. I will see you guys inside. Now, breaking down into this one, what made me really want to be taking this trade? Well, let's just try to stick to the 5 minutes because it's somewhat easier for me to draw as well. So let's just try to grab a brush, right? So with this one, right, I want you guys to understand that when I was trading during this time, okay, you can even see I had some buys here, market pullback here, I had a buy again and sold here. Now, from this one, you can see that the market was just very bullish and I wanted to play the pullback. So once the market did have a pullback here, I just took a buy position right here, right? Once I took my buy, I had a $6 loss, and that $6 loss was a market fill exit. So that means that I was risking $40 in this trade, but I realized that the market wasn't looking too good. I just exited. That was the first trade. Because when I took a step back, right, I jumped out and saw the market respected this demand level right here, created an impulse, failed to break this high, made this high a weak low, and market broke this low. So once I saw that broke to the downside, I already told myself like, hey bro, like the steam to push prices to the upside is weakening. And what I'm doing here is I'm technically entering the next buy. So once I created a buy here, I tried to buy here, I saw this, I'm like, bro, that doesn't look too good. I'm gonna sell that. I'm gonna exit $6. So I exited with a $6 loss, and that was a really good loss. But hey, even though I have a system, we humans are still we're still emotional, right? Because during this moment, my friends, like, I don't think you guys understand. I had some type of FOMO entry, right? You know, like, as long as you understand when you take your FOMO, that's okay, right? I took my buy, I took my exit for a $6 loss. And once I saw this green candle, I took a buy again. I swear. Once I saw this green candle right here, for my $6 loss, I took a buy again. And then look what happened. It instantly fell for a negative $40 loss. And once that happened, okay, let me just jump to the 5 minutes again. Once we saw market kind of dip down, that was already more than enough for me to understand that, bro, market is failing, man. Because remember what they always say. If the market is bullish, always expect resistance to hold and support to be respected. But if the market is losing its steam, always expect the low being taken out. And that's exactly what we saw over here. Like 5 minutes, bro. Look at this. So bullish until we saw our lows just constantly getting taken out. This impulse was supposed to break structure, but it failed. It broke the low instead. Tried to impulse again. The lows are constantly getting taken out. Once I saw that, I told myself, hey, I'm going to take a short. And you can see that based on 2 position history here, we can really just play based on time, okay? I'm going to be showing you guys. We're going to be grabbing the vertical line right here, right? The vertical line. We're going to be looking to the time for transparency. This was a 1755 like this. Trade was open at 1755 right there. This one right there. And we had the trade close at 1916. So maybe around here. Oh, how do I duplicate this? 1916, 1755. And you can really see what really happened here is once this happened here, I want to show you guys the entry for my short. So 19.030. And my stop on my take profit was all the way down to 18.441. And I remember this was like a 3-hour trade, pretty much like this, right? Now, you can really see that what happens is when you guys are new to trading, you guys would probably be buying this because you'd be like, oh, inducement, breakout, you know, liquidity, stop hunted, I will buy. People are gonna be saying that. But what I teach inside the Duck Trading Empire, bro, there's a way to counter that. Okay, and I'm just showing you guys the tip of the iceberg here. Now, what I did here, technically just shorted this whole thing, this trend line confluence and everything, right? Very, very clean, guys. So once it happened, I already told myself, people are buying here. It was time to short. Like market structure was showing straight up short because the lows were just constantly being broken. It's like the market giving you a hint. It's all up to you to be reactive and to take that hint and be like, yo, the market is actually telling me it wants to sell. So I'm going to sell, right? It's just that simple. Okay, so I took this sell, market went down, and ladies and gentlemen, that is how I closed $161 for the day. And that is exactly how I flip my $20 account all the way up to $500 in 5 trading days, in all 5 trading days. So the reason why I did this is because I already did a $100 to $1,000 challenge, and you can see that you can say that how many percent is 100 to 1,000. That's pretty much 900%, right? Wait, how many percent is, wait, wait. So if an account grows from 100 to 1,000, how many percent is that? That's 900%, right? Bro, it is actually 900%. I swear. So initial value is 100, final value is 1,000. It is 900%. So 900% increase. But the reason why I want to do 20 is because I know some people are only going to be trading with 20. But that's when I want to be showing you guys the transparency, okay? That you can really do it with crypto or even forex. So from $30, we brought it all the way up to 500. That's a $2,400 increase, and that's actually insane, bro. That's actually wild, right? So yeah. So moving on, that's how we did it, and yeah, I hope you guys did enjoy this raw unfiltered trade breakdown. I'll see you guys real soon. Goodbye.